This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. On the absolute top of the pile of the things that I want to talk about today is this article from The Guardian. I've been talking about the January 6th insurrection for months since it happened. In the lead up to the several hearings that have taken place by now with the Select Committee investigating the events of that day, I have talked about consequence. I have talked about the aggressiveness with which the Select Committee, namely Benny Thompson, the chairman, should handle these individuals who are going to likely refuse to testify, who are going to defy the legal authority and the subpoena power of this committee in Congress. I've talked about inherent contempt and civil and criminal contempt, and the fact that unless this committee goes into this thing with some teeth, with some actual bite, with some actual backup to their threats about consequences, nothing's going to get done. And it looks like right now, if this reporting is correct, that the top Trump aides that I talked about just a few days ago are indeed going to defy subpoenas. I'm going to read a little bit from this article and we're going to talk about it. Top Trump aides set to defy subpoenas in Capitol attack investigation. Source says Meadows, Bannon, and others will move to undercut House Select Committee inquiry under instructions from Donald Trump. It is, again, spoiler alert, because of the fact that Donald Trump believes he still possesses, he still enjoys executive privilege that a sitting president has. Is it because Donald Trump is so colossally and embarrassingly stupid, or that he just believes that his followers are colossally and irreparably stupid? Because an ex-president does not, for those of you in the back of the room, does not possess executive privilege. It is for the current sitting president to exercise that. The former Trump White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, and other top aides subpoenaed by the House Select Committee investigating the Capitol attack are expected to defy orders for documents and testimony related to January 6th, according to a source familiar with the matter. The move to defy the subpoenas would mark the first major investigative hurdle faced by the Select Committee and threatens to touch off an extended legal battle as the former president pushes some of his most senior aides to undercut the inquiry. We have witnessed the cowardice of Republicans, especially those in the orbit of Donald Trump, for many years. Prior to him becoming ex-president Donald Trump, they had cover because he was the sitting president at the moment. He did enjoy executive privilege. He no longer does. They also enjoyed the Donald Trump Justice Department doing nothing to back up Congress. They had a Congress that wasn't willing to flex its inherent contempt muscle. Hopefully, that has changed. Hopefully, even though the Justice Department has done nothing up to this point to hold Donald Trump accountable, hopefully they will. If contempt charges are forwarded to the Justice Department, they will do something. All four Trump aides targeted by the Select Committee: Meadows, Deputy Chief of Staff Dan Scavino, former Donald Trump golf caddy Dan Scavino, strategist and white supremacist, that's my ad, not from The Guardian, strategist Steve Bannon, and Defense Department aide Kash Patel are expected to resist the orders because Trump is preparing to direct them to do so, the source said. Why? Why, if you had nothing to do with the attempted overthrow of the United States government on that day, if you had nothing at all to do with the insurrection, why would you want to slow the committee's progress? Why would you fight for the truth to be uncovered? The Select Committee has issued subpoenas under the threat of criminal prosecution in the event of noncompliance, warning that the penalty for defying a congressional subpoena would be far graver under the Biden administration than during the Trump presidency. But increasingly concerned with the far-reaching nature of the January 6th investigation, Trump and his legal team, led by the ex-Trump campaign lawyer Justin Clark, the former deputy White House counsel Patrick Philbin, are moving to instruct the attorneys for the subpoenaed aides to defy the orders. And just a moment ago, when I said, let's see if they have the courage to defy, if their loyalty will remain resolute while facing prison time, because that is indeed a penalty for contempt of Congress. We'll see if they have the mettle. First, though, we have to see whether Benny Thompson and the committee has the mettle to actually press the issue. If we're going to allow 4 assholes to get in the way of finding out what took place, of obstructing justice, then what good is the investigation? If it could be stymied and slowed and driven to a halt because 4 dudes want to break the law and not testify when issued a subpoena, I mean, come on. The basis for Trump's pressing aides not to cooperate is being mounted on grounds of executive privilege, the source said, over claims that sensitive conversations about what he knew in advance of plans to stop the certification of Joe Biden's election victory should remain secret. Again, Donald Trump does not have executive privilege. House Select Committee investigators had demanded that the 4 Trump aides turn over emails, call records, and other documents related to the Capitol attack by Thursday, and then appear before the panel for closed-door depositions next week. I like that these are closed-door depositions. Inside, I don't like it. My heart wants to see what took place. My heart wants to see the testimony, wants to see their feet held to the fire. My brain, on the other hand, knows that by making it public, it makes it a media circus, and it's going to be less getting to the truth. Because when the cameras get flipped on, people go into performance mode. Kind of like me right now. But when the cameras are off, and they're all in private, they're getting to the truth. But with the former president, we call him the ex-president, but with the ex-president expected to insist to Philbin that Meadows, Scavino, Bannon, and Patel mount blanket refusals against the subpoenas, the source said, the Select Committee at present appears likely to see none of the requests fulfilled. And here, we're getting to the good part. This is the part that gives me hope. This is the part that boosts my level of optimism that we're actually going to see some consequence here. The move means that House Select Committee investigators now face the key decision over how to enforce the orders and whether they make a criminal referral to the Justice Department after the Thursday deadline for documents or next week's crunch date for testimony. The House Select Committee chairman, Benny Thompson, told reporters recently that he was prepared to pursue criminal referrals to witnesses who defy subpoenas and subpoena deadlines, as the panel escalates the pace of the evidence-gathering part of its investigation. And here's a quote from said chairman, Benny Thompson. "We'll do whatever the law allows us to do," Thompson said last Friday on the subject of prosecuting recalcitrant witnesses. Quote, "For those who don't agree to come in voluntarily, we'll do criminal referrals." Well, they're not coming in voluntarily if you subpoena them. That is not voluntary. That is, they are compelled to come in. So if they If they don't agree to comply with a legally issued subpoena, that is when you issue criminal referrals or flex the muscle of the Congress and cite them inherent contempt. Use the power of inherent contempt. Seek them out. Imprison them. They are obstructing justice. Our country was attacked. Our democracy was attacked. There was an attempted overthrow of the United States government on January 6th. There was an earnest attempt to overturn a free and fair election. Elected officials as high as the Vice President of the United States was threatened with murder, assassination, as a hangman's gallows was constructed on the lawn of the Capitol. They chanted, "Hang Mike Pence." They had intent, and they had the means. All of this should be taken into account. And to defy the investigation, to try to slow the investigation, tells us everything we need to know about the loyalty of these four individuals. What do you think, though? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I really would love to know what you're thinking about this. We can't just sit on our hands. It is my strongly held view that if we allow these individuals to go unscathed, uninvestigated, unprosecuted, we're setting ourselves up for another insurrection, another January 6th type style event. Remember, there were pipe bombs, working pipe bombs, placed at both the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee, ostensibly to be a distraction, to draw resources away from the Capitol, allowing them to further penetrate, to more easily achieve their objectives, to overthrow the United States government by way of overturning the election. Follow me on social media. I'd love to connect with you there. And if I bring you value, if what I do is important to you in any way, I would appreciate it if you consider supporting my work. For as little as $1.99 a month, you can help support my work, help produce my videos and my podcast. You can click the join button below the video, become a YouTube channel member, or you can head on over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. All of these are great ways to support my work. I love you guys. I appreciate every minute that you spend with me, looking at my dumb face and listening to my stupid voice. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.